Everybody, this is Scott, Comic Book Hangover. I am going to be doing today another collection video. So I'm not going to be in this one. I'm not actually going to be on camera. My hand will be. Hello. But for the most part, I think it'd be easier if I just set these up and kind of share what I've got. So in the spirit of Halloween, I decided to do a video sharing some of my favorite horror comics. And when I think horror comics, outside of EC, I think Chaos Comics. And since I don't have a whole lot of EC books, I figure I want to go through some of my Chaos books and share with everybody the Evil Ernie books, starting off with the Evil Ernie books that I have in my collection. Now, these are all ones that I picked up as they were coming out, so I've been with Chaos Comics since the beginning, so actually since before the beginning. I picked up, I used to buy Fangoria magazine, and I still have the issue of Fango where they interviewed Brian Pulido and sort of gave a preview of what was coming. So the way I have my Chaos books set up in my boxes is I have them divided by the characters or by the actual title. So for example, the Evil Ernies. Now these are not going to be in alphabetical order. I always try to keep my Chaos books in the story's chronological order. So from the very beginning to the very end, as far as the actual storyline goes. So these are going to be in more of that order as opposed to alphabetical or release order. So starting off, Evil Ernie, Pieces of Me. This, if I remember right, it's been a long time since I've read a lot of these books, but if I remember right, this one actually goes back and you see Ernest in sort of like the things that set up his evolution into eventually becoming Evil Ernie. And I've got this one here. This is cool because it's got a glow-in-the-dark cover. If it was darker out, I'd show you, but it's not, so I won't. Then I've got the chromium cover, signed by Brian Pulido. And this would be the mini-series that began it all. This is Youth Gone Wild. I remember buying these ones when they first came out. This one is signed by Brian Pulido and the late, great Stephen Hughes. Here's issue 2, also signed by Brian Pulido. Number 3, no signatures. Number 4, Tim Vigil signed that one for me. He did the cover. And number 5. Then there was the special limited edition reprint signed by Mr. Pulido. The Encore presentation, this is one they did years later when the company was actually Chaos Comics. They reprinted the original Evil Ernie miniseries. They just slapped on new covers, so of course I had to grab those as well. Issue 2, a new issue 3, 4, 5, one of my favorite smiley covers. And then the Youth Gone Wild Director's Cut. This was actually one of the few that I picked up after the fact. Actually, I got this one a couple years ago at a show that I went to here in my hometown. This guy had a bunch of EC books. That's what attracted me to his booth, and I started flipping through his books. Came across this one, realized I didn't have it, so I had to buy it. And then we've got Resurrection, one of the first Chaos books. And a nice little Caseta cover, and Caseta and Palmiotti, and foil on there. More gimmicks. Foil gimmick. That's pretty nice. And Resurrection, number 3, and number 4. But wait, there's more. This one, I believe, was called New Year's Evil. So I got the regular cover, and then there's this cover as well. Then Evil Ernie Revenge. This one signed by Jason Jensen, Stephen Hughes, and Brian Pulido. Another great glow-in-the-dark cover. Signed by the same 3. And not a glow-in-the-dark cover, though this would have been a sweet cover like that. Revenge number 3. And Revenge number 4. Man, I love these covers. Stephen Hughes was truly an amazingly talented guy. Untold Tales of Evil Ernie, Relentless number 1. Then there was Straight to Hell, got the ash can. I think there was a preview ash can. Then there was the -1 prologue, part of Wizard Magazine's little giveaway they used to do. And then Straight to Hell proper. Now this cover here was a fold-out cover, so the top would fold out and the bottom would fold out, and it would look like Evil Ernie was lying in a coffin. It's pretty cool. And then the chromium cover, same book. Then we get to issue 2. Eventually got to get to the second issue. Third issue. And, I mean, pretty much I don't need to keep saying what issue number they are. This is arguably one of my favorite covers. And there's 2 versions of this. So I've got one. I can't remember. It's been so long since I've looked into these, but the main difference, main way to tell the difference between the 2 versions of this book is the cast logo. So this is the one that I have. I am going to be getting the other one just because it'd be nice to have an Evil Ernie comic book being delivered to me in the mail. Evil Ernie, this is a Wizard half issue, glow-in-the-dark cover. Also came with a little certificate of authenticity, so you know that it's actually an Evil Ernie comic. Go figure. Evil Ernie Destroyer preview, and an awesome Cowhoots cover. And Evil Ernie Destroyer number 1. That takes care of that. And this will be the last of my Evil Ernie books here. The last stack. Continuing with Destroyer, some great Stephen Hughes covers. This is one of my favorite Evil Ernie covers of all time. And number 4, this was a 9-issue maxi series. It was one of the first extended stories they did with Evil. Gave us a lot of really great. There's another cover that I just absolutely love. There's that one. And then we wrap it up with this one. This one always looked kind of weird to me. It was almost like this was part of an overall picture. They just kind of zoomed in on Evil's face and just made that the cover. But I've never gotten around to seeing if I could find if that was part of a panel. Looks like it might be. So you can see some stuff in the background there, like it was like a panel inside of a story, and they just decided to make it the book cover. And Evil Ernie, which one is this one? This was his ongoing series. Vampire Avengers was the first story. So this is his monthly book, signed by, I think it's Brewer, did the cover art, did the art inside. Got him to sign that for me. Cal Holt's signature. He's one of my favorite artists. Anything he does, I got to get it. Or at least try to anyway. So here's his run-in with Purgatory. Then the Fear Itself storyline. So it seems to be running towards the reader. And then there's a little Ernest Fairchild right there. Young Ernie. Gotta have a Christmas story, I guess. So, you know, nothing screams Christmas like Evil Ernie. Then we get a story that Brian Pulido came back to write himself, Trauma. Great stuff. And then you'll notice also, oops, sorry guys. You may notice also that on some of these covers there's going to have this little chaos countdown here. They were counting down to the year 2000, where their Armageddon story was going to happen, and all hell, quite literally, was going to break loose. Move these over a little bit here. All right. So you see, it'll count down as we go along on some of these books. And then we've got Evil Ernie Depraved. This one has some really nice covers, like this one here. I love this cover, which was, I think, a redo of an earlier Evil Ernie book. Another one of my favorite covers, signed by Brewer as well. War of the Dead. This was a 3-issue series, and they did a commemorative, sort of an homage cover to the original Evil Ernie. So I had to have that one. Then there is a War of the Dead number 2. War of the Dead number 3, which also had a memorial cover. Now this one was Evil Ernie, Lady Death, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the Purgatory or the Armageddon book. And it was just the entire cast of Chaos characters at the time. It was great. I always wanted to get it on a poster. I'm pretty sure they put it on a poster. I was just never able to get it. And then Evil Ernie returns, signed by, wow, it's signed by just about everybody. This is Brian Pulido, Beck, and Jason Moore. I think also worked on this book. So Pulido did the effing murder thing there, but this one sort of unofficially became a Jam signature cover. Then we get into some of the more off-the-wall stuff they did. Evil Ernie's Baddest Battles That Never Happened. This was a pinup book, if I recall correctly. It was just basically pinup drawings of Evil fighting other Chaos characters that he never really faced off against in the book. So it was a nice little thing there. Evil Ernie versus the Movie Monsters, where you get to see him take on parodies of like Freddy, Jason, Michael, other characters. So I got the regular cover for that. And I got the special cover for it. Anytime I could get the variant covers for Chaos, I would. And then we've got Evil Ernie versus the Superheroes, where he takes on parodies of the Marvel DC characters. That was really well done. And of course, they did a sequel to that as well. And that wraps up all of my Evil Ernie books. Aside from that, I also grabbed this. This is Evil Ernie Youth Gone Wild trade paperback. I got it signed by Brian Pulido as well. So I'm a long time fan of Evil. Now I know I don't have them all. There's some covers that I don't have that I missed out on that I just never had the money to get. But I'm hoping to be able to get them. But that's what I got. So thanks everybody for watching. I guess I'm going to be on the search for any of the covers that I don't have. They're real fun to look for. So I will figure out what books I want to do next to share as far as my horror comics go. It might be some more Chaos books. I've got Chastity, Lady Death, Purgatory. I've also got a whole lot of Marvel Zombies books I could share. So let me know. Let me know if you want me to do another Chaos video like this, or would you like me to do like Marvel Zombies? I've got a whole load of those. So let me know. Feel free to like, subscribe, share the video, comment down below. Let me know what you'd like to see, and we will see you next time.